been going through some of my old radios I've had kicking around in the workshop, stored in some boxes. That I repaired these radios probably about, must be 7 or 8 years ago, before I had the workshop. And this is one of my favourites, and I don't know if anyone can guess what this is. Obviously this is its original sort of canvas case. The zips are still okay, and it's kept this radio in a good condition. The handles are missing, which is a bit of a shame, but the radio is still in lovely condition. Here we have the Roberts R300. Now, I bought this, must have been 7 or 8 years ago on eBay. Lovely little radio. It's been stored in the workshop well, it's been dry. It's obviously dry in here, and it's stored in a plastic box along with all my other collection of radios. So I'm just going to power it up and see if it's still working okay. I did find this old Panasonic battery. I was just going to check the voltage on. I don't know if it's any good. I'm just going to, if I can run it on that, it would be easier. Well, it's got 8.5 volts, so it will work to a degree. It might sort of collapse a bit once I put it under a bit of load. Have a look inside. Now, I haven't done anything to this radio. It's using AF117s. Now, I assume that when I tested it, it was absolutely working fine. So we'll power it up and see how we get on. It's got the old Plessey capacitors in it still. And these old, I think these are Hunt's capacitors that I think they're generally reliable. Every now and then you'll find one with a crack in it, and then obviously it needs replacing. But we'll try the radio, power it up, try it, see what it works like. And if it's a bit under sensitive, I'll check the battery voltage when it's under load, and we'll go from there. Remember how to click these batteries in. So
nobody should write them off as also runs in this group, and they're showing.
It's still working nicely.
Right hand side. Alan goes with him. So too does Benny. 16. Now someone is decisive.
Looks like it's working pretty well. Let's just check the scale calibration. I don't think I ever did that when I didn't have the equipment to do it really, apart from matching it up to the station. So 1500 kilohertz should be about 200 meters. We're modulating. Nope. Okay, so that's pretty good as well. So that's
Matt's able to run with it.
it's a really nice condition. The case has protected it so well. It's the leatherette and stuff like that. It's like new condition. So that's medium wave. It's just long wave. Possibly slightly dicky switch on long wave. Oh, we don't seem to have any long wave. Definitely not medium wave, but no.
Did you get something on that?
Okay, we've got dicky switch on long wave.
How? Other end?
Looks like a leg balance to me.
Yeah, so the long wave switch is a bit. There you go.
Yeah.
Scale calibration is good there. So this just goes to show that they still work after all these time, and quite honestly, half the time you don't really need to change the capacitors unless it's absolutely necessary. Well, this one will need the obviously need the switch contact cleaners, some contact cleaner run through the switch to fix that. But the AF117s are unusually good. No problems there. So that's nice. It's one of my one of the radios I would keep, I think, if I had to clear all my stuff out. One of these old Roberts radios, especially this one that's so nicely kept away in a bag. Let's see what else we've got in the collection of stuff that's easy to get. Siemens Turf, German radio, not particularly nice radio. It's sort of like a cardboardish box, very cheap and nasty. Works quite well, but not a radio that I'm particularly enamoured by. So we can find something else in here to look at. Just all this stuff is protected with cloth and rag and stuff to try and keep it in nice nick. Here we go, let's dig this out. Everyone likes a Dynatron. And this is the Dynatron Dual. Same company that was the Hacker brothers originally worked at Dynatron before they moved off and went off to make Hacker radio. This is oh, I'd say probably late 50s, early 60s maybe. It's been in a bit of a mess. They've got this radio like this. It was pretty rusty inside, but I don't know if it still works. Actually, it's probably later than that actually, because it looks like it's got the later transistors in it. It's got one of these Mallard modules inside. It's gone all rusty, but we can power it up and try it. I've never restored this radio. I don't think. I just basically got it, and then because it was in a bit of a mess, I was going to buy another one to restore. Use this as spares or repair. All the battery connections are a bit manky as well. Let's just power it up, see if we get anything.
Crystal Palace.
Oh, it still works.
Well, extraordinary. 26 appearances for Palace, the last of which.
One of the knobs is broken here as well. You can see this when you tighten the screw up, it's broken all the knob apart. So this is really a spares radio. The grill's in quite nice nick. It's got a few dents in it. It's not in a bad nick, this radio. That knob needs throwing away or replacing. You look inside it. It's a shame it's all let down by the sort of the rusty condition it's in, but electronically it's still working. So sort of maybe keep an eye out for another radio, or at least some spares like a new knob and things like that, because that knob's, I don't think that's going to be repairable. It's got a three-way tone control switch here. It's actually got a good sound.
Imagine calmly into the lakeside, and there's no run. So
they're a good radio. I do like these Dynatrons. I think it's an attractive looking radio as well. This one, as I say, simply let down by its cosmetic condition. I mean, it could probably be restored quite nicely, but it would certainly need a new knob here, and probably a few bits inside need cleaning up. But all the transistors are obviously reliable and still working, so that's a good sign. Now, I can't remember if I actually zapped any of the transistors on these old radios. I think a lot of them they were okay, but this one I don't think even uses the AF11 series transistors, and I don't think I opened the module up inside to do anything. But it's very much like the board layout is very similar to the early Hackers actually. So I wonder if there was a bit of a copyright going on there. You know, when they moved over to Hacker, they just took the parts with them. This is a bit rusty, this old strip along here. I'm just wondering if any of this rust damage is caused by the fire I had earlier on in the year. I hope it isn't. And that's it's got a serial number there as well, 3233. So right back on. So that's a nice old radio, quite an attractive looking radio as well. Grill's in, as I say, not bad nick. Let's see what else we've got. So most of these radios you've probably seen. You've seen the R707 before. It was turned on. Let's hope the battery's on, isn't it? Yeah, the batteries are in it, and I left the radio on. That's bloody good, isn't it? So the batteries, we absolutely had it by now. Here's a couple of others from my collection. This is the Hacker Black Knight. This is the RP74. This is a lovely radio. This is one of their later radios, but this was still a really nice radio. It's FM only. It's actually in really nice condition, apart from the screen's worn off on the VHF band, which is a bit of a shame. It's got the later Hacker station markers, which are always quite nice. And this is a 12 volt set. It doesn't use the PP9s, even though it's got the PP9 type of adapter. They fit into these battery tray here, so it works on another 3. Yeah, so it's a 12 volt supply. And inside you see it's got the large oval speaker like all the Hackers have. But this, I don't think this is a Celestion. I don't know what make of speaker this is. Celestion and Goodman's were the favourite ones for Hackers in the earlier days, but I don't know what this one is. And this is all silicon transistor on this one, and as you can see inside the boards, let me just see, make sure you can see what I'm talking about. This side here, it's all there. All the boards are laid out here, nicely done as always on Hacker. This was a serious attempt to make another decent radio, and they succeeded. I do like this radio, and it's got superb sound quality. It really has.
Answer that question.
Let me just give you a quick demonstration.
All this can do nothing to change his mind.
Reach for that.
Find some music.
We're really good mates.
Still limited to about 102 megahertz, which is a bit of a pain. Very sensitive. Really good low frequency response from the speaker and the amplifier.
Time, so I'm.
Well, where are you? I sort of imagine the international operas.
Excellent sound quality.
She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she. Her voice was soft and cool.
So that's another one of the really nice later Hacker radios that, in my opinion, is worth adding to your collection. Not all of them from this era were. This one's just so nice. It's such a nice sounding radio, and I think I don't know if everyone agrees with me, but probably one of the later decent radios that they made before they sort of went a bit sort of AWOL, really. I mean, you can see it's got on the back, it's got external aerial, taper output for recording, external jack for 12 volt supply, and phones. They're still using I don't think it's the 3.5mm, it's the equivalent to a 3.5mm, it's an 1/8 jack. I think you find if you put a 3.5mm jack in there, it's all loose and wobbly. But that's the Hacker Black Knight RP74. Next up is one of the radios I bought in the earlier stages of my collecting of radios, and this is the RIC 1. Now, Robert's first integrated IC, first radio with an integrated chip is the RIC 1, and it basically means Robert's Integrated Circuit 1, and I think it uses a TDA 180 or something, or TAD 180. Basically, I think it's the IF amplifier and a detector and stuff like that. So it's only a medium wave, long wave set, but you can see inside it's the traditional Roberts design, and easy to work on. You just basically remove these two wooden struts and slide the whole thing out. Works off a 9 volt PP9 as most of the Roberts do. Plug it in and see if it's still going. I haven't used this radio for a long time.
Regret.
It's still working fine.
It's lovely.
It's always had a bit of a noisy tuning gang.
Banana bread and
Scale calibration's still good.
Meanwhile, Rob
Vincent Carno.
It will need, this one probably need another service to sort out the tuning and capacitor, so that might be one to have a look up in the coming weeks to get that sorted out. They're a nice radio. They go fairly cheaply on eBay. They don't seem to. They're not particularly collectible because they're pretty dull looking little radio, but. What else have we got? Now here's my favourite hacker. This is the Sovereign, which is the RP25A in blue. This one's in lovely condition. No dents in the grille. Internally it's all in original condition. No components have been changed on this. And I'm lucky with this one. This is one of the first ones with silicon transistors in, so we've got no problems with AF117 problems there. So just power it up, just give it a run up and see if it's still okay. No reason why it shouldn't be. They've gone forever, these radios. We've got 18 volts.
Children, tell yourself how you your heart can
with a cast of thousands.
Lovely radio. The thing that these knobs, you notice the knobs have gone yellow. There's a couple of tricks you can do to recover those, and one of the tricks is I did with this is to soak them in washing powder. Not for too long, just soak them in washing powder, and it sort of bleaches the some of the yellow out. But you don't want to leave it for too long because it does attack the aluminium as well.
Thank you very much.
Try medium wave. Volume pot, a bit of noisy tuning pot and tuning capacitor. So that would need fixing. Just a bit of probably a bit of dust in there or something. Let's see if it works. So the tuning gang needs cleaning on this one. Scale calibration is not bad. It's just over 200 meters. We're at 1500 kilohertz, so that's not bad.
Wales, as a debut nation at the European Championships, have won their opening fixture.
Now you heard it last here.
For the red and whites of Wales, the Slovakian players hands on hips, shaking hands with their opposite number.
Okay, so that's the RP25A.